I'm gonna post links on Instagram and X.
Ooh.
And then, to top that all off, I'm gonna try and go live on TikTok.
I don't have enough followers for that yet.
You'll get there one day.
I'm at 120. Getting a lot more views since my wife actually is teaching me how to use TikTok. Okay.
No, I want that. 5. There we go.
All right. I'm trying to figure out what setting I need to do.
Waiting for my wife to stop yelling at my kids so I can.
I mean, I guess you could.
Alright. Hitting go live on TikTok. So we can test it out and see what happens.
Sounds good.
May not get much from it, but
yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? Did you see that I converted my personal TikTok over?
I did. The one that you posted for the weekend winners, though, still had your JTDALLIS watermark.
Yeah, it's because I changed it after I posted it.
Oh, gotcha. That makes sense.
Yep.
When
we also might have to update the link to the TikTok.
Yeah, I already did that for this live episode.
Okay.
I got you, homie.
Okay.
Here in 20 seconds, I'll switch us over.
You're good.
Figure we don't go the whole 5 minutes, just do 3 minutes.
Yeah,
We got
fine.
our links posted, so
yeah, that's
most
fine.
important part.
Trying to figure out how to make my hang on a minute.
All right, switching over. Hello, YouTube and TikTok.
Howdy. Oh yeah, we're running TikTok this time, and
yeah. Now TikTok is technically just my point of view, but they should be able to hear you as well. But if you want to see both of our pretty faces, switch over to YouTube. Yeah, buddy. So welcome to Raise Hale, Praise Dale. Let me pull up my notes that I have no idea where I put them at.
Yeah, I'm trying to do my stop my screen from timing out. So
where did I put my notes? Did I close them out accidentally?
Uh-oh.
It looks like I did, so we get to pull them back up. Anyways, this is the weekly podcast that covers everything of the NASCAR Cup Series and sometimes a little bit of other stuff sprinkled in.
Yes, sir.
I am VOODEUX48.
I'm JTDALLLIS.
He is the primary guy. I'm just the backup commentary.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a pretty joint operation around here. You do all the work and I piggyback off of you.
Hey, gotta do it one way or another. All right, so with that being said, let's we are a little bit late just because of
family
take care of some family stuff.
Yeah,
that's all the details will go in for you guys, but we'll roll that intro and then get right on into this week's episode.
Yes, sir.
All right. So first off, before we fully get started here, I know we did an episode a couple weeks ago.
I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry.
Doing over there, man? Jeez. I know we did post an episode a couple weeks ago now, and was when we did the silly season prediction stuff because of Stuart Haas announcing they were shutting down.
Yes, we did.
Well, we got another rest in peace moment.
Happy birthday to me, I guess.
Yeah. Tomorrow is the last episode of NASCAR Race Hub. Been running for 15 years on Fox, and they're going to do a 90-minute episode tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern on FS1. So that'll be it for Race Hub. Hopefully, Radioactive finds a new home.
Yeah, that's one thing that I am going to miss. I mean, I really did enjoy Race Hub. It gave, it kind of shone a light into the news that you wouldn't necessarily get unless you're digging. It gave exclusive interviews and stuff like that, which who's to say next season there might be something similar, but of course not Race Hub because they're shutting Race Hub down. Yeah. And instead of just so what I'm hoping, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but what I'm hoping is that instead of just Fox primarily doing it, I hope that NASCAR is going to put something out either on, TV or Netflix or, I hope that's where it's leading, or Amazon Prime, where you can come up weekly and watch. I don't even necessarily need it to be every day like Race Hub, like Monday through Thursday, but like once a week just to kind of, have like an hour to sit down and talk about everything that's happened that week and stuff like that. Like I said,
I know at one point there were rumors floating around about NASCAR putting something down as far as like everything racing. Well, no, it wasn't NASCAR. I forget what company it was, but it was like all sports. It was like a sports subscription service where it'd be like NASCAR and football and baseball and blah blah blah. All the whole 9 yards.
I've seen that floating around. Which, I mean, if every race is on NASCAR, I'll probably drop YouTube TV because that's what I use. It's the best bang for your buck. You get all the channels. You don't have to sit there and try to find them. Now, granted, I don't see it I don't see it happening as far as like them creating their own entity. Mm-hmm. But I can see them with the recent press conferences and stuff that Amazon Prime could be a prime, no pun intended, prime suspect. Yeah. I could see them launching a series on that. I could see them launching a series on Netflix. I mean, they've already been on Netflix. I could see them. I mean, they could just be running. They could decide to run a show on their website.
Maybe so. I don't know. You have to stick around and find out, I guess.
But anywho.
Yeah. So rest in peace to NASCAR Race Hub. Yeah.
Happy birthday to me.
Say it, but I cut you off. But it's all good.
Oh, you're good. Happy birthday to me. Worst present ever. Race Hub decides to not.
Yeah. Well, we got our first like on TikTok. That's cool. Got about 8 people sitting in here.
Sweet. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in.
Jumping in. So just wanted to get that out of the way before we jumped to the post-race breakdown. As we know, this past weekend was Sonoma, but before we get there, we'll get to the penalties of Gateway, and we're done with the penalties of Gateway. So now to Sonoma.
Congratulations, you just set through the penalties of Gateway.
Yeah, it was quick. Short and sweet, to the point. Yeah, so Toyota Save Mart 350 at Sonoma. We'll cover a brief analysis of this if you're new. And,
give me just a second, my notes messed up, sorry.
Probably because you pressed the wrong button. So the cup purse is
there we go.
Grand total of $8,426,274. And that's including like all of the payouts to drivers, and teams, and blah 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 blah. I forget how they break it all down, but
nice.
yes.
If you guys can't tell, I have my sounds back this episode. If you were with us last episode, I couldn't keep my camera on the desk. This week we don't have that problem. Now apparently my notes just want to bug out. So,
We are humans.
Anyway, let's talk about the poll. Oh, Joey Logano got on the poll. It's let's see. Second is Tyler Reddick, and to the rear, nobody went to the rear.
And before we jump to stage one, I just want to say great job to Denny Hamlin. He didn't get a single scratch on his car, didn't get caught up in any wrecks. Pretty smooth ride for his whole, like what, 1 lap?
Half a lap.
Hang on, baby Jesus.
Well, his engine blew up at the start-finish line, so I think it counts as 1 lap.
Well, he.
Anywho, Denny Hamlin obviously did not make it even through stage one because his engine apparently decided to pull a Chris Bell and poop itself. And yeah, way at the beginning of the race. So,
I know what's wrong with it and got no gas in it.
no, that was Brad Keselowski was last week.
Martin Truex.
Martin Truex, yeah, it was his turn this week. That's right.
And Brad Keselowski, was he last week? I thought that was Blaney.
Yep. I don't think it was Blaney 2 weeks in a row, was it?
I might be thinking of Blaney running out last week. Anyway.
Was it Blaney?
I don't remember Keselowski running out of gas. I could be wrong, though.
I know Chris Bell's engine
Chris Bell blew an
messed
engine.
up.
And
Was
Blaney,
it Ryan Blaney 2 weeks in a row? Hold up. I gotta go pull up my notes from last week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
While he's doing that, we can congratulate the race winner, Kyle Larson.
You didn't do stage winners yet, but yeah.
Oh, I thought we already did. Oh my god, dude, my notes are all
Gotta
over
go
the
in
place.
the order of the race. What's going on, Emma? Welcome to the TikTok chat.
Well,
now
that I
was
spoiled
Ryan
this-
Blaney. Holy
see, I was
crap.
right.
2 weeks in a row.
Oof.
Jeez on Pete's. Alright,
Poor
so maybe Ryan Blaney's gonna be no, wait, Ryan Blaney didn't run out this week. Martin Truex this week. Dang it.
Yeah,
Anywho, can't tell it's Monday.
it's definitely been a Monday. But stage one, since I already ruined the ending, I'll go ahead and tell you the stages. Tyler Reddick took stage one in that 45 Monster Beast car. And stage two, Christopher Buescher ran the 17 and got the stage win.
Just to make you feel a little better, our our picture for this episode was Larson in the winner's circle, so I don't think you really spoiled it too much.
Yeah. Well,
so tech complete, no issues, and there's also 0 cars going to R&D this week.
yeah.
That's nifty. Nobody getting broken down to check anything out. Although Denny Hamlin's car is probably getting checked out. Find out why that thing broke so quick.
Oh, it was probably getting ripped apart while the race was going on.
They probably had it done by the stage one end.
Probably they were like, "Yep, I know what's wrong with it.
It's got gas in it. But,
It's got gang."
all right. Rookies of the week. Or this week. We can talk about all 4 of them this week.
We can. Well, we can talk about the number 4, Josh Berry,
I
had
think,
a significant ran.
yeah, I think he thought it was go bowling at the Glen still.
So he started in 32nd and finished in 32nd.
After taking out about 8 cars. Tried to go for a strike, missed a couple. Yeah.
You can tell Mr. Stewart.
Yeah. Well, Casgrella did better than him this week. Started in a
Yes,
whopping
sir.
36th place and finished in 23rd. Not bad for that
Not
Rick
bad,
Ware
not
racing
bad.
car.
What is that? 13 spots. 13 spots.
Yeah, they're up 13 spots. Not too bad at all.
Nope. And then in the number 71, you got Zane Smith starting
Emma's
P20.
like got her fingers going crazy, dropping likes on the TikTok over here.
Heck yeah, thanks, Emma. You rock.
He's currently got it up to 641 likes. Holy crap.
Let's get it, boys. All
Something
right.
like
So Zane Smith in the number 71 started P20 and finished 16th. That's a 4 position to the good. So he moved up 4.
Yeah, not terrible. Not terrible.
Not terrible. Not terrible. Top 20. Top 20. I like it.
Dropping back 4 spots, though, you got the 77 of Carson Hocevar. Started in P13 and finished in 17th. So I would say this week.
Hello.
You
okay.
want to go with Casgrella? I mean, he moved forward more, but Zane Smith was able to stay higher.
So this is where let's hear what you got to say, because our opinions might differ. We haven't talked about this at all yet, so.
Uh-oh. Not good when you say that.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Personally, I would say Carson Hocevar. He qualified better, and he stayed up front for longer. Now, granted, it could be some of the wrecks that helped him out, but I don't know.
Well, considering that Zane Smith went up in positions and finished in the top 20, I was going to pick Zane Smith because he did and here's my reasoning, okay? So he went up 4 positions, which isn't a lot, but he did finish in the top 20. And we were talking about, before people start saying, Casgralla was 13 positions to the good, but also look at the points for the rookies in total. Zane Smith is Zane Smith is ahead of Casgralla by, hang on, I'm trying to do math, 16 points. That's
but
why
you
he
also
would
have
make,
to keep in mind that Casgralla hasn't raced a few races.
well, that's true. That's the factor that I didn't put in because, you're right.
You've had Cody Ware sitting in the car. You had Riley Earpst at the beginning of the season.
It's about to get loud, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, one of the reasons I don't want to pick Casgralla is because he did not finish in the top 20, whereas 2 of our other rookies did. And so the way that I look at our rookies of the week, I look at their starting positions and their finishing positions, of course. I look at how many positions they've raised, and I also look at their points for the season as of right now. So, I mean, if we just did it, which I'm kind of segmenting into our next part of Rookies of the Week, if we just went by points, Carson Hocevar would have this because he's in the lead with 279 points.
Yeah.
Hi there.
And that's a change because Josh Berry was up front by 5 points, I think, going into this race.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big swing, I would say, for one race.
But I'm still going with my gut and saying Zane Smith because he was in the top 20. He is beating out Casgralla, which I thought you were going to go with Gralla, to be honest. That's kind of the way I was putting my defenses up. But Hocevar, the only reason I wouldn't choose Hocevar,
Landon, welcome to TikTok.
The only reason I wouldn't choose Hocevar for our Rookie of the Week is because he was -4 on placement.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I wouldn't pick him. Otherwise, if you look at his points or everything, I would go with him. But I'm
Yeah.
sticking with Zane Smith.
I could see your fight for Zane Smith because I mean, granted he's been struggling pretty hard this season, so just the mere fact that he got a positive and almost a top 15 there, I would say that's a good move for him.
Yeah. It definitely is a change of pace, at least in my opinion. Thank you.
Yep.
So
yeah, so I could agree with you on giving it to Zane Smith for this week. Carson Hocevar has had more luck in getting it recently.
sorry, guys.
We got 2 people doing crazy likes of the TikTok now.
Heck yeah, guys. That's what I'm talking about. I love seeing that.
And I'm pretty sure I know both of these in person, but Emma and Landon got us up to 1.7 thousand likes.
Okay.
Holy smokes.
Okay, you're going to have to wait till mommy gets here.
Anywho, jump to our next portion. We're still on post-race breakdown, but for our second consecutive week, we get to update you on
RHPD Motorsports.
dun dun dun.
Also, if you want to see the graphics, if you're on the TikTok live, if you want to see the graphics, tune in to us on YouTube. We go live
We got
every
graphics
Monday.
pulled up on our RHPD podcast YouTube channel. Check us out
Yes,
there, and you can
sir.
see both of our ugly mugs and our graphics.
They should also follow our new TikTok channel.
So, this is not the main TikTok channel. This is just my personal one. But we do have an RHPD podcast TikTok channel if you want to jump over to that and drop a follow on it real quick. 'Cause if we can get it up to 1,000 likes, then I'm pretty sure we can go live from that one instead of my personal one.
Oh yeah.
Or both, because why not?
We could also try to incorporate, if I don't know if we can, but like get all of our graphics and stuff on it when we go live as well. I'll have to do some more research on that one.
I think there may be a way to do it, but may cost a little bit of money to do so.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But anyway,
RHPD Motorsports. If you don't know
Yes,
what we're talking
sir.
about, we explained it last week. If you didn't tune in last week, we have a short video explaining the reveal of RHPD Motorsports because you guys gave us 25 subscribers on YouTube. That is the idea that Dally came up with and I agreed to. And yeah, so second week in a row that we get to update you on our RHPD Motorsports Cup Series team.
definitely. So I can just go briefly over what it is. So Voodoo and I have made a fantasy team, and what we did is we picked drivers, and our rule was we could not pick 2 drivers from the same existing NASCAR team. So just for example, as you can see up here, we chose Ryan Blaney. We couldn't pick Austin Cindric. Look, Kyle Larson, we couldn't pick Alex Bowman. But
Why
the
would
way
you
we
pick
get our
Alex
point-
Bowman on the team if you were going with
It was
another
just-
Hendrick driver? Just saying.
Because I'm just saying, I was looking at this 48 that I showed you before the stream. That's sitting on my desk, and that's
a
the one.
Bowman car?
No, that's not a Bowman car, but
Yeah,
I just seen
exactly.
the 48.
Why do you
Okay.
think about Alex Bowman when you look at the 48?
Because the
Punk.
48 was I was trying to pull a driver out, okay?
We are almost up to 3,000 likes. Just saying.
Heck yeah, guys. Keep it pouring in. I love it.
Appreciate you guys.
But anyway, the way we get our points is we get the points off of the drivers with their respective teams. And then at the end of the season, we're going to total up the points and see where as a team we stand. And we already talked about this, that next season we will most definitely carry over and make... No! Sorry. I got kids that are trying to touch stuff on the keyboard. That's not funny. Leave it alone.
But yeah. So, anyways, like you were saying, we take the points from their respective teams, add it to our team, and at the end of the season, we're going to compare it to the real life Cup Series teams and see how ours stacked up. Now, next season, we are going to pick our 4 drivers before the season starts.
We won't get our 6-month head start.
Yeah. So we won't get a little bit of cheating help.
Yeah.
Landon is saying that we need to set a like goal for TikTok.
I have no idea how to do that, but I'm sure we can
Well,
figure it out.
I mean, it's probably just what do you say it? Not like a visual, but I don't know. When you speak
Anyway.
it,
We will look into that before next week, I promise. But so anyway, they saw where they finished as far as our 4 drivers that we've picked this season. This is where they finished at Sonoma. And then the next slide has their points.
we almost got everybody in the top 10.
I know,
Again.
I'm pretty happy.
But we got a
But
winner this week.
damn,
Yeah,
we
that's cool.
did get a winner, so yeah. First win for RHPD.
Officially.
Second week after it was founded.
we have 5 wins total now, but that's our first official one as
yeah.
an RHPD driver.
So yeah, here are the point standings for the drivers as of right now. You can see that Larson is setting in first in the point standings. He is in our 64.
Before you move on
Car.
from him, I saw this on X, but he is the first driver in Cup Series history to go from not playoff eligible to getting a win and becoming playoff eligible and regular season champion and regular season points leader and have the most playoff points available.
Get it out of your mouth, Sophia. Get it out. No.
My name's not Sophia.
No, I'm sorry. My daughter is deciding to try to eat a Barbie brush.
Those are delicious, I hear.
My favorite, the yellow.
Well, yeah, so kind of cool. He went from not playoff eligible to having the most playoff points and being regular season points leader.
Yeah, I think honestly NASCAR made the right call, because imagine the backlash they would have gotten if they were like, nope, can't have your.
Yeah.
But anyway, in the 63 car, setting a number 4th in playoff positions, is Tyler Reddick with 512 points.
Yeah, 49 points back of Larson.
Yep.
And then our mainstay number in the 65 has slipped back a spot into 7th. And that's old bad Brad Keselowski.
Old bad Brad.
95 points behind Larson.
Yes, sir. And then in the number 62, we've got Ryan Blaney with a 444 for a score.
I'm out of gas. Not this week,
Mister, I'm out of gas.
I do remember us
I know what
joking
y'all
about
mean.
him last week now.
Him and Martin Truex are sitting there talking today. Like, I made fun of you last week. I'm so sorry. Anyway, he is setting 12th in the point standings. So we got that going for us.
Yeah.
And
all
to
in the
round-
top 12. Kyle Larson
what?
went up a position. Tyler Reddick stayed in his spot. Brad went back a position, and Ryan Blaney stayed in his spot. So overall, we netted nothing and lost nothing.
You'll get nothing. Good day, sir.
Anyways, that's RHPD Motorsports and the updates on them.
Sir.
Next,
And to
before-
round out this weekend's race before we move on to the next race, which is in Iowa, we have the weekend winners video also posted on our TikTok. If you wanted to see it, I posted it on YouTube as well.
Yep. Yeehaw.
All right, guys. Let's get ready for our Race Day Horizon.
Swing.
Showing.
So
All right.
the Iowa Corn 350. I wonder what racetrack it's at.
I heard it's going to be in Darlington.
No way. This throwback weekend again?
Yeah. Except
Anywho.
this time, apparently, like 3 out of 4 cars are going to be corn themed.
Or is it going to be corn-fed machines? Anywho, enough of our lame dad jokes. Friday, not televised at 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time will be the ARCA practice and qualifying. And then, change in programming at 4:35 p.m. We have Xfinity practice on USA.
USA.
Not on Fox, not on FS1, but on USA. Hour later at 5:35 p.m. we got Cup practice, also on USA. And then I guess we can jump back to FS1. And 8 o'clock p.m. is the ARCA race for 150 laps on FS1.
I don't mind it.
Partly cloudy, high 82, a whopping 9% chance of rain, and 7 to 8 mile an hour winds out of the northwest.
Back to you in the studio, Dan. Saturday on USA at 12:05 p.m. Eastern time, you've got Xfinity qualifying. Oh, I about messed that up. 1:05, you have Cup qualifying. At 2 p.m., you have the Xfinity pre-race show, and at 2:30, you have the Xfinity race. First stage 75, second stage 75, and the last stage 100 laps. 100 laps, making a total of 250. It's going to be mostly sunny and breezy with a high of 87, 16% chance of rain, 15 to 16 mile an hour winds out of the southwest, 22 to 23 mile an hour gusts. And
Sunday.
That was a couple of extra Sundays, but I'll take it. All of this is on USA. And what would it be if we didn't have corn with a little bit of rain? Because, rain makes corn and corn makes whiskey. Isn't that how that song goes? Anywho, all on USA. 6:30 p.m. is the Cup pre-race show. 7 p.m. is the actual race, the Iowa Corn 350. First stage is 70, and the second and third stages are both 140 laps for a grand total of 350 laps. And unfortunately, we have a chance of showers and thunderstorms, because wouldn't be NASCAR weekend without it. A high of 90, 25 to 32% chance of rain. Ridiculous. 11 to 13 mile an hour winds out of the south with gusts up to 20 to 22 miles an hour.
that sucks. Because that high at 90 means it's going to be miserable and humid.
Yeah. And that's at race time. That's not like at noon.
Yeah.
So 90 degrees at 7 o'clock in the evening is ridiculous.
Yeah, so you spent all day baking in the sun, and now you get to spend even more time watching the race.
Right.
Awful. Let's go to our notable injuries with the number 15, Kaz Gralla.
And then jumping back into the 16 again after Sonoma will be AJ Allmendinger.
And in the number 66, you've got David Starr.
Come on, we're not talking about music here. We're talking about NASCAR.
Sir, I'll have you know that would not be the first musician to drive a NASCAR.
I know. You just got to look at our past episodes. You covered him on Slick Scheme Spotlight. Woohoo! Drivers without a win in 2024 is
A lot of them.
everybody with one more start and not another win.
Yes, sir. All right, so who's your picks for the Iowa race?
So we haven't raced here in quite some time. So there's not really any average finishes to look at because we haven't raced here with this car.
No, but you can look at similar tracks. Like a 1.75 miles. Is that what it is?
That's a good question. What is the length of Iowa?
I'm Googling it. Hang on.
Don't worry, guys. We're professionals and we do research before we get in here.
To be fair, I was going to talk to you about this before, and I ended up having the family stuff.
So it is only 7/8 of a mile.
Oh my gosh, that's a small track.
Yeah.
What
When
other-
converted over to the road course, it'd be a 1.3 mile road course. So 7.8. 10 degrees on the banking.
So would that be considered just a mile track?
I don't know.
Cool. I wonder if it would race like a mile track though.
I don't know if it would be considered an intermediate or a short track.
Well, hang on a minute.
Let's see. So, okay. So it was designed by NASCAR star turned commentator Rusty Wallace.
I just read that. Yeah.
To be similar to Richmond International Raceway.
So we can take a look back at Richmond. Yeah. So I have two picks.
Oh, Mr. I got a blown engine. Mr. I'm out of gas. Mr. I'm got a blown engine. That's 3 people in the top 5 there.
Well, there's one in there that doesn't have any of those that I have picked.
Hello, Bree. We are doing a NASCAR podcast. Just happen to be live here on TikTok while we're live on YouTube.
Yep. So who you got picked for your Iowa?
And I can't pick Kevin Harvick. I'm gonna go with Truex getting it.
What in the blasphemy? Well, I'm salty now. I thought I had one behind
Thank
me.
you, ma'am.
I'm gonna take Bell because Bell has won at Iowa. He
How long
is
ago?
epic. He's won twice in his Xfinity.
About to say he hasn't won there in
19 and 18.
Cup Series.
No.
Well,
But out of
Richmond.
the 4 races that he has done in Xfinity, he got second, first, and second.
Yeah, see, well, his highest finishing position, according to this, at Richmond is second.
Well, he's my pick for this week. Him or Kyle Larson. Those are my 2 picks.
And Kyle Larson's actually down there in 8th place.
Are you looking at what are you looking
I'm looking at Richmond averages, not Iowa.
at? Okay, see, I'm looking at Iowa's averages from the last time that they raced, as
Yeah, that
well
was-
as Xfinity and
Yeah, but last time they raced there in Cup was 2019,
yeah.
before next gen cars.
Well, true, but those are still my picks.
Yeah. Anywho, I'm gonna take Truex. And with that being said, those are our picks. So if you want to make your picks, join our podcast fantasy league on NASCAR.com. It is Raise Hale Praise Dale podcast. That's HALE, and make sure you got the podcast on the end. Otherwise, you're not in ours. Password is all lowercase RHPD2024. And somebody's got to get in there and take over Trash Can's first place spot so they can get their own 164th from Lionel Racing's website.
So, kind of related, I have a huge announcement.
Uh-oh.
You only have 20 days. 20 days. 20 days to get entered in our RHPD track giveaway, which that consists of 3 autographs that we know of. It also consists of a couple of hero cards, some stickers, free ice cream at Andy's Frozen Custard, a fan with Cole Custard's car and him when he ran for Andy's. It's got a Texas bag on it and whatever we pick up at Talladega. So if you guys want
no. Whatever we pick up at Nashville.
Talladega. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I already picked up stuff from Talladega. You already picked up stuff from Texas.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. My brain was saying Tennessee. Yeah.
Today is Monday, but look at it this way. We only got to suffer through 2 more Mondays before we get to go to Nashville.
19 days before we meet up in Nashville.
I'm just saying we only got to suffer through 2 more Mondays.
Facts.
That's a much smaller number than 19.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, so you only have 20 days. And you may be thinking, well, how do I get, put in for this drawing? All you got to do is comment, which you can do in TikTok live, since we have some people that are awesome and commenting and liking. All you have to do is say a racetrack name. It doesn't matter what track it is. We only have 2 people signed up right now. So if
Chances
you guys
are
want
pretty
to
doggone high.
Yeah. If you guys want to get in on that, it would be awesome. You don't have to send in money. You don't have to like. We'd appreciate your like and follow, but all you have to do is comment a racetrack name, and you are put in for the drawing. Me and Voodoo will draw on July 1st live, so you guys can see, because we will actually be in. Yeah, we will actually be in the same place for once in our lives.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry, I'm over here stuffing food in my face.
Oh, you're good. You guys get in on that because there is some pretty good stuff. We broke it down a couple episodes ago. I don't know if you can see that checkered bag that's hanging on the wall. Let me find my finger. Hang on. There it is. That checkered bag right there. That has some of the stuff in it. Some of it is out.
Welcome in.
Yeah, so if you guys want an Eric Jones signature, who else? Noah Gragson, right?
Gragson, Bubba Wallace, and Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, and then I've got an Eric Jones, and then I don't remember if I have the Austin Dillon one. I don't know. I'd have to.
So all you have to do to get into that giveaway,
sorry,
like
guys.
you mentioned, comment a track from the Cup Series on the YouTube video or on his TikTok or X or.
Honestly, guys, if you guys want to jump in his TikTok, we will get your username, and if you get drawn, we will DM you from there.
Yep.
So, if you guys want to jump in on that real quick, that would be awesome. We could add some more names to the list. Like I said, we only have 2 as of right now. And if you're thinking, man, I don't know any racetracks, we threw out quite a few today. I mean, you could put Iowa, and we'd be cool with it. You can put Talladega. You could put Daytona. You can put Darlington.
Texas, Sonoma.
Yeah.
Watkins Glen. I think that's all the ones that we announced today.
Yeah.
So
Here, I'll throw in a freebie. Kansas. Oh, we announced Texas as well.
Oh, wait, we said Nashville, too. Forgot about that one.
Oh, Nashville, too. Yeah, see? So we're giving you plenty of tracks. So even if you want to throw in some like older tracks like Rockingham, I think we'd accept those.
Yeah, for sure.
But
on to the next portion. Enough about the
Yeah.
giveaways. Y'all don't like getting free stuff. Jumping to our trackside trends.
All right, so Front Row Motorsports confirmed that the charter they purchased was from Stewart-Haas Racing. And if you guys don't know, or you live under a rock, Stewart-Haas has announced that they're closing their doors after the 2024 season. So
That's in Cup and Xfinity.
yes, I didn't watch it, but I seen Tony Stewart talking at Eldora, so I don't even know if he's doing Eldora anymore.
I don't know if he'd give up a track, but maybe.
Good night. I don't know. I just said he addressed fans and staff at Eldora. Like I said, I haven't watched it. I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he's not. I just know that there was a video out. But oh my gosh, hang on.
Charter negotiation update. Dun dun dun. Jim France has made a statement. Oh boy. He stated that NASCAR cannot offer permanent charters because, quote, we can only support you as long as we are being supported, end quote. So I'm going to say permanent charters were definitely not part of that last deal that they laid on the table for.
Yeah, I'm
to look
gonna
at.
say not. What are you looking for? I don't know. No, don't touch that. It might be in the room. Sorry guys. But I'm with you. I obviously that they were not in that deal package. I don't know how this night.
We've only had one cup race to where charters even mattered. That was the 500. There was one other race that we hit 40 cars in, but the field set at 40, so like charters aren't even that big of a deal at the moment, I would say.
And at the same time, they used to run 40, 42 cars. I mean, I don't get why they're limiting it to like 36, 38, 40.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get if you get 50 entries, but make them qualify in like the old days.
Yeah.
I hate saying that, but
I did see that somewhere where they said basically if they don't come to an agreement at the end of this season, then charters are done. And then it'll be just like Xfinity where you gotta earn your spot. Which, I mean,
I think it would make it more
for some entertaining storylines.
I could see, and that might be what NASCAR is pushing for. They're obviously wanting more personality because, let's be honest, NASCAR's had a lull for a few years of personality. I mean,
yeah,
there's nobody. I don't want to go out and say there's nobody that's like really making a name for themselves in NASCAR. I just feel like there's not enough drama to sell like there was in like the 90s. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think this season has definitely stepped it up compared to last season and the 2022 season. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's definitely revved up, and I think a lot of that is because NASCAR has figured out that drama does sell a lot more than just boring. And I'm gonna say this with all love for the sport: boring cars turning left.
Hey, we turn right sometimes too. It'll watch this race this weekend.
Sometimes. I don't know, unless you're Denny Hamlin.
He made a couple of right turns before he called it quits.
His right turn counter is not near as high as everybody else's, though.
No, not even close.
But
pretty sure his was still in single digits.
But
yeah,
Sophia's the one that got her toys out.
We'll see what comes of the charter agreements, if they even happen.
I doubt it, honestly, because it sounds like the teams are pushing for charters and they don't want to back down off that, while NASCAR's saying, I can't do it, I'm sorry.
Permanent status, you mean?
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
I could see that.
Now, granted, they might get like a year or two extension, but it's like we were saying before, no charters creates drama because then you get people that are racing harder to get in. I also think it makes more what's the word I'm looking for here? Makes things more interesting just because you never know who's going to be on it. More competitive. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It makes things more competitive on the track because you've raced your way to get in and you don't want to go home, especially when you don't know if you're going to make it next week.
Yeah. The other thing I think that would change if they didn't come to a charter agreement would be the fact that they would have to start having some more practices, I would think.
Or longer practice, at least.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. We'll see.
we shall see.
We're, what, about halfway through the season, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, update on Cash Money Kyle Larson. He has, if you haven't heard and have been living under a rock, been approved for his playoff waiver.
Yep. We already spoke on this earlier, saying that good decision by NASCAR. Otherwise, they would have been shunned by a couple people for a couple days. Yeah. Speaking of Kyle Larson, Arrow McLaren is hoping that Kyle Larson will try for the double again next season.
Do you think he will?
I don't know. After all the drama that went on, I could see Hendrick saying no, just because they don't want more drama.
I also could see that like half this drama was fabricated, so he might have had the go ahead before it all happened, and then NASCAR's like, "Hey, we're just gonna put this out here. Don't worry about it."
Maybe so, because you really didn't see any comments from him while it was going on.
No, and that when he was at the race, he didn't look very worried about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew he wasn't gonna get the points anyway because they would have went to
That's we'll see. I think it'll be pretty cool. I know there's also talks of another Kyle being able to do the double.
Oh, Bush.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I'd like to see both the Kyles in the double.
I forget what Indy driver it is, but there was an Indy driver saying that they wanted to pull a double, where they would do the Indy and then jump into a Cup car.
That would be pretty cool too. But enough about Kyle's in Indy.
Yep. These rules updates went into effect before Sonoma.
Yeah, so cars used to have to be on the grid 5 minutes before pace laps begin, but now they may join after pace laps begin. They must start at the rear of the field. So, I guess I don't know why you would want to do that though.
I could see it being a little bit of extra time to work on a car if you screwed it up in practice or qualifying.
I guess, but why would... I don't know on that one.
I don't see many people
taking up NASCAR on that.
Yeah. So a cool change is the driver that wins the pole now gets to choose a lane before the start of the race.
Wow, it's almost like NASCAR's going back to the way it used to be.
What?
It's almost like that sold or something. That's probably why Dale Jr. has $300 million in his bank account.
Now this next one is technically an Xfinity rule change, but it adheres to Cup drivers.
I'll read it.
Go ahead.
Cup Series points earners are now permitted to run the Xfinity Chicago Street Course race. I don't like that one either, honestly. This is my take on the whole Cup Series and Xfinity. If you're running Cup Series, you should not be able to run Xfinity if it's on the same track that you will be running the next day. And the reason I'm saying that is you are getting extra practice time. And practice time.
At the Chicago Street Course, yeah, the cars drive different, but how much different is it going to drive on a street course?
And let's be honest, if you're in like a Chevy team, you are running the exact same car. Same with Ford, because aren't the dark horses in
I
Xfinity as
don't
well?
think it's a dark horse on Xfinity yet.
But still, if okay, let's say Kyle Larson decides to drive for Hendrick's Xfinity team. If he runs a Chevy, he's running the same car that he's going to run Sunday. So it is essentially you know what I mean? That and another reason is these guys have already made it to the top of their brackets. The guys that are right under them are trying to make it to the top of their brackets. And instead of just padding these guys' ego and bank accounts that don't really need to be padded, why not give the lower teams that aren't even in the cup a chance to actually make something of themselves instead of here, I'm going to put it like this, okay? Would you take a Major League Baseball player and put him in a minor league just because, oh, it's fun?
The only time I've seen them do that is when they're trying to recover from an injury.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't agree with cup drivers being able to come down to Xfinity. No, I think it's okay if you move up, like if a truck driver come up to Xfinity just for a race, just to test it out, or an Xfinity driver come up to Cup just for a race. But I don't think they should be able to go backwards unless they are dropping down to that series for that season specifically.
Yeah. One thing I do like about the truck
the voices in my head
rules that they have. Well, you should gotta wait until I'm through my thought. I like how the trucks have it planned out right now. It's if you're not earning points in the truck series and you're coming from Cup, then you can only run in 5 races in the truck series for that season.
Well, see, I don't even like that. Solely because, like I said, these guys in the truck series are trying to make it to Xfinity. And then from Xfinity, they're trying to make it to Cup. And I mean, I get once you hit Cup, it's not the top, but it's the top of this series. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, you can go on to F1 or Indy or something like that. But as far as stock car racing in the U.S., NASCAR series is like, the highest paid, whatever. And on that note, I think it's a little different if you come from, like, let's take SVG, for example. He'd come from supercars, which is different. So I don't know. This whole, where Cup drivers, even from like the early days of it, I didn't like it. Solely because, I feel like they get an unfair advantage because they're a Cup driver, so they get better tools, they get better equipment, they get better. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What? Go ahead. Add to your thought.
No, people, he's not talking to himself. There is an actual person over there.
No, not necessarily. The Chevys are the same. I'm sure it's a little different, but it can't be that much different.
I don't know. Xfinity has Toyota Supras, and Cup has Toyota Camry XSEs.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know. It's not necessarily the cars that. It's not necessarily the like Cup driver coming down because of the cars and everything that bugs me. It bugs me because they're basically taking, and let's look at it this way. If Cup drivers were not allowed to go down unless they were racing that whole season for that, you know what I mean? I honestly don't think they should be eligible for the win as far as.
Well, the thing I don't like you're talking about, is when Kyle Busch decides to jump down to the trucks and go race them.
Exactly.
He's pretty much spoken for that he's going to win the race.
Yeah. That's the point. Like, don't get me wrong. I loved the scheme that Kyle ran in Texas. I loved it. I'm going to have to buy one. But at the same time, he essentially took a win from somebody that might have needed it. Not, you know what I mean? Because you can sit here and say, oh, it was probably just so-and-so. going to win again. Well, you don't know that. There could have been a huge crash at the last part, and then this nobody that's running a B-rate team truck goes through and takes the win. Well, that's not going to happen if a Cup driver's driving that's been driving for as long as these guys have been alive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could happen still, but much slimmer chance.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one part that I'm like, I really don't like about them coming down series. Like I said, no, that's why they have backup drivers. Every team has I'm sure everybody's got a contingency plan for if the driver suddenly gets like sick.
Yeah,
Right
that's
before the
why
race.
Legacy Motor Club has Corey Haim.
Yeah. That, and 90% of these, like, especially Cup drivers, 90% of these drivers have teams that run simulators all the time, that they just do iRacing, that they will throw in a car. It's the thought of, this Cup driver that's essentially made it, you know what I mean, coming down to show all these kids how it's really done and taking their chance of getting a victory and the point, and or the points that'll get them into the playoffs. Because take a look at Kyle Busch's win at Texas. He essentially negated a win point-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go back and get the points from that win. Whereas somebody that's actually racing in the point season could have had it. You know what I mean?
The other thing you have to keep in mind, you're talking about points here, but the playoff scenario is win and you're in the playoffs. You just took opportunity for one of these, like Daniel Suarez situations, where you pull off a win and get into the playoff. You took that opportunity away. I get what you're saying for sure, but I like the fact that they're at least limited, unlike before, to where they can just do as many as they wanted.
I mean, I would be happier if like Xfinity and Truck was like, okay, Cup drivers can run one race. That's it.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with that because, and let's be honest, not all Cup drivers go down to Xfinity or Truck. There's only a handful.
There's like a handful of them, yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, like John Hunter Nemechek racing for Joe Gibbs. Like, what is he doing when he's actually racing for Legacy the next day?
Yeah.
It's things like that. Like, you got to look like, well, where does his loyalties really lie on Sunday?
Well, didn't look too good this past weekend. Anyways,
I don't want to talk about that.
Moving forward, there's no 2025 schedule changes at this moment that we have heard of.
Yep.
Jumping to team changes and jumping back to Front Row Motorsports and silly season updates. Todd Gilliland has signed a multi-year extension. They didn't say for how long or what car number he'll be driving.
Also, this next rumor, which it's not confirmed yet, it's just a rumor, has my interest piqued. So Cole Custer may be taking one of the two charters for Front Row. Not confirmed, but it is a rumor.
Yeah.
And I hope so, because that opens up the Andy's Frozen Custard 2 Cup.
Yeah. But not with what number does he run? 00, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, he could stay 00. I don't know.
I got a feeling it's going to be the 34, 36, and 38 for Front Row.
It could be. You could be right. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some new sponsors?
Yep. So from the entry list for this lovely Iowa Corn 350, not exactly brand new sponsors for most of these guys that we're going to talk about, but a little bit of a twist. So the number one of Ross Chastain obviously is running a Busch Light scheme, but it's Busch Light for the farmers.
Also, I don't know if you've seen it, but Trackhouse posted on X about an hour ago, and all it had was the Trackhouse logo and 2 ears of corn. And it said, what did it say? It says something like secrets or something like that. But
long
I
as
have
they
a
don't-
good.
As long
Go
as it
ahead.
don't take as long as Brad Keselowski and his team took to reveal the secret scheme for this past weekend.
Right. But you can definitely look forward to seeing corn on the side of at least one of track houses.
It's going to be Ross's because
Definitely.
Daniel, I think, is running the World Ride Express again
Yeah.
this weekend.
So Ross Chastain might be running a Kevin Harvick throwback.
Yeah.
Could be. Oh, there went my notes. Yep. Are you hearing that, Retta?
So, not that we love Brad Keselowski around here, but he's on our fantasy cup team. He's on been on our slick scheme spotlight the past couple weeks. But he's gonna, I don't know if it's gonna be a special scheme or not, but on the entry list it showed King's Hawaiian again, but it showed a dash Casey's. So I don't know if it's gonna be a special scheme or not.
Might be
Just thought that was
interesting
kind
to
of
see at least.
interesting little tweak there.
So in the number 7, Corey LaJoy, he's running a Gainbridge / the Iowa Hawkeyes.
I think that might look cool.
Yeah.
And then number 8 of Kyle Busch running his own scheme, but they also listed Quickstar as primary sponsors. That should be interesting.
Yeah. And then Chase Briscoe in the number 14 is running a Mahindra 30 years anniversary. So
Nifty.
speaking of Chase, this thought just popped in my head. I wonder if he's going to take Mahindra to another team. That's kind of a big sponsor.
It is, and he's kind of taken it, I guess, not away from Smoke, but kind of
He's
did.
taking it, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. How many years has he ran the Mahindra scheme? At least since 21.
Could you, speaking of 21, could you see Chase Briscoe in a Mahindra Wood Brothers car?
See, that's kind of where my thought process was, but I don't know.
Yep. So, no new paint schemes to talk about. They haven't revealed any for this week yet. But that brings us to the fancy pants part of our podcast here. And our Flick Schemes Spotlight.
I was trying to close it out and not play it. Sorry.
This is the portion of our podcast where one of us will talk about paint scheme from the past, and the other will talk about a paint scheme from the past weekend. So this weekend is my turn to talk about one from the past. I decided to go with a Ryan Newman scheme that kind of ties into this week a little bit and some recent news. So for those of you that don't know, I am a veteran. Served in the Army for 8 years. This Friday is the Army's birthday. Whopping 249 years old. So that's pretty cool. In honor of that, I decided to go with Ryan Newman and his number 39 U.S. Army scheme. See it here up on the window. This was 2009 that this was raced.
I wish the branches would come back. Like, I know we've got the Air Force back. I wish we could run like another Navy car, an Army car, the Marines car. That one was pretty good.
What would it be, a red crayon? Anywho.
I would love I would love to see a Crayola Marines car.
That'd be epic. Anyways, back to Ryan Newman. So he left Penske after the 2008 season and joined Haas CNC Racing in the number 4 Chevy Impala. But before that 2009 season, the team was renamed to Stewart Haas Racing. So,
yes, sir.
Kind of ties into Stewart Haas Racing shutting down news, and the Army birthday this weekend. That's why I decided to go with this one. They also later renumbered the car to the number 39 because the number 4 was owned by Morgan McClure Motorsports. They couldn't run the number 4. So his 2009 season started pretty slow, but ultimately he earned a pole, 5 top 5s, 15 top 10s, and an average finish of 14. So not too bad.
Not bad.
Later on in the year, he finished P10 at Richmond. That was in September. Earned his spot in the chase for the first time since 2005. And then the turn for the worst there was in November. He decided to race at Talladega and get involved in a heavy crash. I'm on the wrong thing to advance the slide. There we go. On the backstretch, in which he flipped over and landed on top of Kevin Harvick entering turn 3. Ended up on his roof because of the way he landed and all that stuff. His roof was crushed. Crews had to use the jaws of life to pry the roof off of the car after they flipped it back over to get him out. And thankfully, he was unharmed in that accident.
Can you imagine how terrifying that would have been? Like, I remember watching this on TV. I remember watching that accident. And, it had to be terrible.
Well, if you look at the angle of this image that we have up right now, that's not me altering it and changing it to a different angle. That's the angle that was in the picture because he was in the air on his way to flipping over.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my S-cubed scheme for this week.
So mine, I'm returning a RHPD hero for the 3rd week in a row.
Insane.
I've got Bad Brad Keselowski in his Minions / King's Hawaiian car. The reason I chose this is because I have 2 daughters and Minions are funny. That and it's just a top tier scheme.
I'm not gonna lie, it does look pretty nice, but I'm kind of mad it took him so long to reveal it.
I know. Oh man, well, I like the way it's blended, like the orange to yellow. It's like,
yeah,
it just scratches that itch in my brain that I was like, oh yeah,
much better than that DeWalt Interstate Batteries scheme.
Yeah, I wish you listen. I want the scheme designer from Kevin Harvick to go work with Christopher Bell. That's what I want.
That we need them Trackhouse designers to jump on some other team.
That ain't no lie. But yeah, I just loved the way that it blended. I liked the silver number 6. It looked really good on the track, especially when it spun around. like that. It looked like that, but imagine cars going towards the front of it. Yeah, that's about what it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a promotion for Despicable Me 4. I'm gonna have to buy this. Definitely one of my favorites on the track.
Yeah.
We talked about where he started and finished, so.
He started it in 35th and finished in 13th. So not too shabby.
Yep. Not terrible.
I'm pretty sure that's all we got for this episode. So make sure on YouTube to like, comment, and subscribe down there. Turn on your notifications, all that good stuff. Go follow our newly rebranded RHPD podcast TikTok channel, which will be in the description down below.
Also,
follow us
if
on
you guys
X.
joined us, I'm sorry. Yeah, follow us on X, RHPD podcast. Also, if you guys tuned in on TikTok, thank you guys so much for boosting our likes. It's awesome. I love it. Be
our-
sure to check us out on YouTube.
Grand total likes for this episode on TikTok is 3.6 thousand.
Heck yeah, brother.
Not too shabby.
We went live. He went live. Yeah.
Not
Yep.
too shabby.
Yeah.
I will take it.
But
On
event-
our
we get to
views
1,000,
on YouTube, we're up in double digits to 11.
oh boy, we getting there.
Making progress.
But yeah, thank you guys so much. I say it all the time. When I started this last season, or technically I started it in the 2022 season, it was literally me talking in a microphone by myself. This season I asked Voodoo to help me out with it because I really wanted it to be 100 times better, and you guys have, Voodoo especially, has blown my expectations out of the water, and I love it.
There's a person named Hale that just joined our TikTok live. I wonder who that could be.
I don't know.
And she's dropping some more likes. We're up to 3.7 thousand now.
Oh, hey. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Whose turn is it to do the outro? Is it yours or
You
mine?
did the now scheme, so it's my turn to do the outro.
All right.
With that being said, we're crossing the finish line of another Race Hale Praisedale episode. Until next time, may your tracks be clear and your victories many. Good night, race fans.
Bye-bye.
Boom.
You smell real nice. Oh, here, I can do that.